We've probably all had a bad boss at some point. But what if it's more than that? What if your boss isn't just having a bad day? What if they're following a playbook? Today, we're diving into a type of toxic leadership that's not about yelling or micromanaging. No, this is about something way more calculated, a deliberate strategy of workplace abuse. All right, let's get right into it because this is so important. The source material makes a really key distinction right from the get-go. We're not talking about your stereotypical, loud, obnoxious tyrant. This is about someone way more sophisticated. The kind of manipulator who uses whispers, company policy, even the whole corporate structure as a weapon. And the scary part? Their actions aren't random at all. They're actually following a playbook. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look beyond that stereotype of the bad boss. Then we'll actually decode the playbook they're using. After that, it's time to get tactical. We'll break down their key plays and, more importantly, your counterplays. And we'll finish up by looking at how you can go from just surviving to actually being the solution.
All right, first up, beyond the bad boss. We really need to get a handle on the sneaky, corrosive nature of this kind of leader. It's a hidden war, really.
So think about it like this. On one hand, you've got the obvious tyrant. They yell, they're angry, you can spot them a mile away. But the real danger? That's the insidious manipulator. These are the ones who are all charm and smiles in public, but behind closed doors, man, they can dismantle your career and your mental health with surgical precision. So if it's not just random bad moods, what exactly is it? Well, this is the core idea. It's a deliberate set of tactics. A playbook specifically designed to control you and, maybe most of all, to keep you confused. And this is really the heart of it. These leaders aren't just chaotic. Their actions follow a system of plays, and once you can name those plays, everything changes. You can see their strategy. You make them predictable, and what's the best part? You take away their single greatest weapon, which is your confusion.
Yeah, it's time to pull back the curtain. Because once you understand the playbook, the whole dynamic just shifts. That feeling of self-doubt, that constant confusion, it gets replaced by clarity, by strategic awareness. You're not just a target anymore. You become a player who actually understands the game. Okay, this brings us to the really practical stuff. This is your tactical manual. We're going to break down some of the most common plays these leaders use, and this is the key, the specific counterplays you can use to protect yourself. First up, we have a classic. I have a feeling a lot of you are going to recognize this one. It's called the moving goalpost. You know what I'm talking about, where success is always, and I mean deliberately, kept just out of your reach. So here's how this play works. It's painfully simple, really. The requirements for your project or your performance metrics, they change the instant you meet them. The goal here isn't success for the company. The goal is to keep you feeling like you're constantly failing. That erodes your confidence and gives them all the leverage. So what's your counterplay? It's something called the paper shield, basically an undeniable digital trail. And building this shield is actually pretty straightforward. First thing, after every single one-on-one, send a quick recap email. Just document what you agreed on. Second, keep your own daily log of what you worked on and why. And third, use project management tools where the timestamps don't lie. Look, manipulative leaders hate an evidence trail. When you create one, you're not being difficult. You're just being a professional.
All right, let's move on to the next play, and this one is just plain vicious. It's the public humiliation. This is when a leader literally weaponizes shame to keep control. I mean, we all know the golden rule of leadership, right? Praise in public, correct in private. Well, abusive leaders just throw that rule right out the window. Instead of correcting you privately, which would preserve your dignity, they use your mistake, whether it's real or something they made up, as a chance to put on a show for everyone. You've probably seen this. It's the CC all email, it's the ambush in a meeting, it's pure sarcasm. And the goal is always the same, to get a reaction out of you. They want you to get angry, to cry, to get defensive. Why? So they can turn around and paint you as the unstable one. Now, the counterplay here is a little counterintuitive, but it is so powerful. It's called the gray rock method. Basically, you become the most boring audience they've ever had.
So what does it mean to be a great rock? Well, you starve them of the emotional energy they're feeding on. You don't get angry, you don't get defensive, you keep your face neutral, you just briefly acknowledge what they said, something simple like, I hear your feedback, and then you immediately pivot. You shift the focus to a private, data-driven discussion. Say something like, let's schedule some time to review the data on this offline. If they keep pushing, just repeat your neutral phrase. It absolutely disarms their whole performance. Okay, so we've talked a lot about defense, but here's the thing. The ultimate goal isn't just to survive this, it's to become a strategist, someone who can actually start to heal a toxic environment. And this is where we get to this amazing concept, the culture architect. It's all about reframing your role. You're not a victim here. You're an agent of change, and you can lead from any level to build a healthier little microculture, even if the person at the very top is the problem. And listen, this isn't just some vague mindset. It's about taking action. As a culture architect, you can be the one to establish clear team norms. You can champion peer-to-peer recognition, so validation doesn't just come from the top. And you can create what are called safety anchors. These are small rituals your team can do to decompress and support each other right after a toxic run-in with the boss. And what's so powerful about this is that it's not just about you. By building these little pockets of psychological safety and professionalism, you're actually modeling a better way to work. You're healing the culture, not just for your team now, but for the next generation of leaders. You see, just understanding these dynamics is the first huge step to getting your power back, to getting your peace of mind back. This playbook, it's like a map of this incredibly toxic territory. And that really leaves us with just one question, doesn't it? The playbook is open. Are you ready to read it?